Hello and welcome back to Everybody Loves Raiken, our 5th edition live play that meets on Tuesday nights. Last week, the party spent a considerable amount of time discussing the pros and cons, the ups and downs, and the risks and rewards of dealing with devils to try and get back a former friend, Rowan, the drow who departed the party when he determined and told them that he felt he would be more useful to the world and the party if he went back to the Assassin's Guild. And they later ran into having taken over the city of Volinar in Bromdor after he or someone who worked for him took out the leader there. They have since learned that he is a prisoner in the Hells after a deal gone wrong between Lolth and Tiamat. And so they spent quite a bit of power and several hours doing communes. Did you contact other planes already, or is that saved for this time?
That's saved for this time.
Okay.
But we did fully, commune ourselves. Now there's the simulacrum, which I think could make an attempt, but, Laramendus is fully communed out at this point. Ione does not want to answer his calls. It just...
0% chance of success. And performed several sendings, both with Laramendus power and with their new quill of sending taken from Tatsuya, so that Vendar can be the person speaking with Rowan. This party thinks he might have, I don't know, feelings about talking to Laramendus, I guess. Can't imagine why.
Yeah, I know. I think everything that Laramendus has ever had with Rowan is extremely, cordial, informative, and reasonable. I think,
Alright. We are currently hoping that Thomas, our player for Jebel, will make an appearance, but we have not had word of him other than that he intended to be here. So, moving forward and hoping that he catches up, start us off, I guess, you were discussing what to put in your latest sending.
I think that we were talking about the commune.
Okay.
Because the answer to, not commune, the contact of the plane, because the answers to some of those questions were relevant to how we wanted to send to the entity. Specifically, the ally enemy of Leah's former patron questions.
Yeah.
So, to sum up, for the benefit of the stream and people not wanting to fully read through chat stuff, the proposal is now... So we got contact other plane gives you 5 questions.
Mm-hmm.
The proposal... Cyrus had asked for a question regarding how we might be able to undo the contract without being the ones who hold the contract or negotiating for the current holder of the contract to nullify it. So we'll have to figure out what we actually want that question to be, if we want that question at all. Then a question for... Why is that question why? Oh, okay, no. I was expecting 3, but 3... Yeah, okay. 3 is...
It was in case of yes.
No. Yeah, it's 2 yes, and then no, question 3. Okay, there we go. Sorry. So, is the entity who currently holds Rowan's contract an enemy of Leah's former patron? Proposed second question. If that answer is a yes, then we go into the binary search to pinpoint the amount of residuum that a soul is worth, with the numbers and everything listed in the chat, which we can just read through as they get necessary, or if they are necessary. If they are not an ally, or not an enemy of Leah's former patron, then we ask if they're an ally, because they could just be a neutral party or not even know who they are, for that matter. And then I wasn't sure how we wanted to go about things after that. So if they are not an ally, but they are not an enemy, then I wasn't sure if we want to continue with the residuum-related questions, which would give us a little bit more precision.
Mm-hmm.
With the assumption being at that point that they're neutral, and so we can try and bargain with them more freely. Or if we wanted to use those questions to try and see if we could get an idea for, given information about Leah's former patron's actions, they would be more likely to ally themselves or fight against them, on the assumption that they had fight if they had a large amount of new magical resources at their disposal.
Mm-hmm.
So we could use the questions for those. I wasn't sure. I just wrote down residuum, but that was one thing that we need to talk about. If they are an ally of Leah's former patron, then they're already an enemy of us, which means it's not going to be it's unlikely to be much worse for us than the situation we're already in. So I think that commences extraction plan. I wasn't sure what questions we still had that would benefit extraction plan. So I didn't write down anything in the chat for that other than questions about extraction.
Okay.
But so people's thoughts on, I guess let's start at the beginning because it's a very good place to start. Potential question regarding undoing the contract. If we were going to ask something like that, I would think that it should be along the lines of, like, is there a means short of a wish to nullify a contract with the devil without the consent of the devil? The problem is, I don't know what we do with a yes for that question, because I think trying to find those means is the work of a lifetime, which we don't really have.
Ask for a yes, hope for a no.
Which at that point, it's just I'm skeptical of the use of the question, or the question, or I'm skeptical of the use of the answer given the time we have. But that's just with my initial phrasing of the question, so I don't know if Cyrus has other thoughts on what he was hoping to gain out of that question.
I don't, because something I tried to say earlier when I realized my mic wasn't working. It was not my idea, it was Vindar's. I was just trying to word it.
Oh, was it?
Oh,
okay.
a smart cookie.
Vendar, then. I guess I only read the first half of what Vendar had said and then saw Cyrus' comment. Vendar, was there anything that you were hoping to glean from an answer to that question that we can try and figure out a way to word the question to get the information that you're looking for?
I guess if I don't know if Cyrus not break the contract, or if there's some other way that we might be able to break the contract. I don't know much about how Devil's Deals work, so.
Okay, so like try and figure out if there's a way, at least like this particular contract might not be like nullified, but like ended, that we can exploit in terms of a loophole.
Yeah, so like if we can gate Cyrus and then kill him, break the contract, and resurrect him.
Yeah, Rowan, not Cyrus, but
not Cyrus. Rowan. Yes, Rowan.
Yes, I would like to not be taking his place.
Just swap them. The other guy can teleport.
Yeah, but I can't plane shift. Or I guess I can, but expensively.
Everyone can plane shift once. It's a one-way to the Shadowfell, but
Are you telling me that all adventures are airdroppable once? I do encourage all members of the party not to let Laramendas be the only one thinking through these things. More heads are going to get you better questions.
Yeah, I acknowledge that. I've been trying to think through it for the past 4 sessions. I don't have anything else to give, I think.
I want to move motivation. I think we're ready now. Let's go.
It's valid.
I mean, there is a point where we are not going to glean any more useful information without just diving headfirst. So we could ask if Rowan's death ends the contract. I would be surprised if it did, if only because we sort of saw that Tatsuya's situation did not alter in his benefit with his death.
That's true.
To be fair, this deal, I guess, this deal is in a similar manner of being with that level of fiend. So yeah, it probably is not going to have death as a respite. Is there a different thing that we could ask about other than death that would give us useful information?
Like, I figured killing the devil in the hell would end it, but I mean, that would. We don't want to do that because we don't want to go to the hell. So.
And what if the contract goes to their next of kin?
Do they have kin?
I think they could have a beneficiary. Question 1: does the contract have a beneficiary in the case of the devil's death?
Did this devil have a will?
Really, this whole campaign is ending in probate court.
Also, like, is the contract...
Didn't think it was going to go there, did you?
There is an old meme about Holy Grail, and if I follow that through to the logical conclusion, then I could say yes. Jacob, sorry.
Is, like, the contract a physical thing we could get? Does he need to have the contract with him in order to...
Oh.
Like in Baldur's Gate, you can sell your soul and steal the contract.
You should roll a new int check. We'll just do it every session that we're doing this.
Is fair. Let's see.
How good are you at
Motherfucker!
Bad. You are bad at answering questions today.
What I'm hearing is inspiration.
I think yeah.
Remember,
I rolled a fucking 3.
I will remind you that if you want to do that call, more inspiration is better than less, and mulligans will not count.
Yeah. Oh wait, I can mulligan.
You could point mulligan. It's true.
Yeah, I think I have enough. Hold on, let me pull up the string. Let's use a different die because that one betrayed me.
Not one.
It wasn't a 1.
2.
Yeah. So I went from a 3 to a 2.
I remember when you went from a 5 to a 6. Oh yeah, that was last week. Everyone.
So that's a 17 in my religion.
You have no idea.
You got so much dumber in the last couple hours.
My knowledge of devils is limited and specific in certain ways. I do know much more than the average person.
You know that it's a lot easier to keep track of all the ins and outs of a contract if it's written down, but, like, it's also just such a conceptual thing.
and whether possession of that is what actually
Well, we can
like
ask,
connotes possession.
Exactly.
that can be one of our questions.
It could be one of your questions.
Yeah, we could ask that as number one of is there a physical form that the contract has which
So, are you going to contact Other-Plane now?
are there other questions that people want to fill in for 3 yes nos? Or no 3 yes nos. So in the event that the entity who currently holds Rowan's contract is an ally of Leah's former patron, do we have questions related to the extraction that we would like to ask? And if they are not an ally, do we have questions other than questions about the value of residuum that we would like to ask?
In the absence of responses, assume that you're going to fly by the seat of your pants and wait for the answer to come to you and then make a question. I'm not going to bother with holding people to the limited time of the spell to ask all their questions since, this is a big process anyway.
I'm perfectly happy asking about residuum if they're not an ally.
I mean, that seems like a decent course to go off of.
Yeah, because even if they overprice it, you still kind of got to deal. It can't be any less than that.
Right now, our maximum that we know it could be is 110,000.
Okay.
So with 2 questions, we can know if it's between 82,500 and 110,000, or if it's between 27,500 and 55,000. So we have a much narrower negotiating range, no matter what, if we ask 2 questions. Okay, so people are fine with that. Do we have questions about extraction plan? Should the entity be an ally of Leah's former patron?
How can you make an escape plan for talking to something? Or are you talking about the...
I think if the entity is an ally of Leah's former patron, then we are no worse off pissing them off.
Oh, okay.
And we could ask, I don't even know if this has already been asked, but something along the lines of, if we cast Dispel Magic on him, will he be returned or forced to return?
Didn't we already learn
I'd
that?
like to know, what we can, do to make sure he's still on this plane after we get him here.
I mean, I think that the easiest way to do that is to do what we had talked about of having Gate drop him into a private sanctum and sealing him inside of a force cage, dispelling him at the highest level we can multiple times, and other such things.
Then I don't know. Honestly, if we decide to go with the extraction plan, I think we already have as much information as we possibly can. The best possible mix of things. The only other things we could ask is if remove curse, greater restoration, or dispel magic will actually do anything useful for this.
We still got 3 of the writing sendings, right? We could ask Rowan what the details of the contract are. But he can only give so much information.
That's true. But he might be able to provide useful information there that might guide towards how we could handle things with the extraction if we need to do that. I think if we're negotiating, the terms don't matter all that much.
Yeah.
The only spell that I'm particularly interested in calling out the use of should we need to extract him, is Greater Restoration. Just because that's the only one with a material cost.
I would want to call out Remove Curse because it has a range of touch. So if you're sticking him in a force cage, someone would have to be in there with him if you're going to cast that. Or we have to do it before you cast the cage.
And then we have 2 questions right there.
Sounds good. Ship it.
The tiger is going to push herself up from Leah's lap and stride slowly over toward the door and sit in front of it for a moment, about 3 seconds, before doing a big stretch, putting her paws way up toward the frame, the top of the frame, and then just letting her claws rake down the whole length of the door.
Kubriel, what do you want?
I need to go to the bathroom.
Jesus. All right. Let's go outside.
Did you say that audibly?
Let's see. I'm gonna roll for it.
Yeah, I think when that Laramantis is just like taking notes in his book, and then just like pauses and just like follows Kubriel with his head and just staring at the door.
Yeah, I rolled high, so I'm gonna say that Raiken did say it out loud.
Why does the tiger need to go into the army?
She says she has to go to the bathroom.
Can she do it in the mansion?
Wait,
There's a garden.
isn't she a celestial beast? Can't she just, do they even go to the bathroom?
But if she went in the mansion, wouldn't it just be ejected into the room when the mansion ends?
Vendar has a point.
Does it count as an object?
I mean, it's something that's foreign to the mansion.
With that discussion, the cat's gonna turn and, head toward the invisible door of the mansion. She's just going to, sniff around at the wall. Then you'll just see her kind of, push her nose into the wall and nothing happens.
Oh yeah, you'd have to Pokeball her through.
Yeah.
I can't go in there. I can
see
smell
that.
your scent here. I know this is where you went.
Well, Laramantis, what do you want her to do?
Can you put her into the item and go into the mansion?
You can't. I didn't give consent.
I think Laramantis is just looking at Raiken because he can't hear Kubriel.
No, but she does sidle on up to you.
Raiken is going to sigh before speaking in Celestial. Kubriel, get back in the ball.
You
Please.
bitch.
And he'll take the ball out and try to put her back in after that, saying that.
When you speak to her in Celestial, she straightens up, turning away from Lara, who she was leering at, and says in Celestial, "Of course, Master." And she moseys across the room over to you and touches the ball.
She says that after she says you bitch.
She noses the ball in much the same way as you touched her with it before. The ball does not react.
What? Come on, get in. He just keeps pushing it against her.
I know how the thing functions, right?
I don't know if you... Did you identify it? I forgot.
Was I don't
You were
think I
told
identified
how
but
it functions.
Basically, I was told that it requires consent.
It requires consent.
Okay. So, Laramentis will say, compelling someone to provide consent is not necessarily them giving consent. I do, however, need you in the mansion when I go to cast my spell, so that I don't risk becoming incapacitated for the rest of the night.
You're going to see the tiger's shoulders slump again, and she regains her, like, normal liquid grace, and she kind of looks up at you, Raiken, and in your head you hear, "That won't work. Don't try that again."
Kumaril, just get in the ball. I will let you out as soon as we get into the mansion. They have endless rump there.
I might have believed you if you hadn't tried to compel me like that just now.
I'm sorry. I will not do it again.
She's going to look directly at Laramentis and speak Celestial. Laramentis, do you understand Celestial?
I think at this point, Laramentis knows yes and no, and unclear.
Yeah. It's true, he does know those. None of those words are said. You, Raiken, understand her saying, "He's taking me outside to serve his punishment."
It's not punishment.
It will
So that you can go to the bathroom.
You say that out loud?
No, that's in his head.
Do you translate, or does Laramentis turn to Ash to translate? Because, I think she very clearly looked at Laramentis while speaking, which makes him think that it was intended for him. So he was expecting Raiken to translate.
She said it's for punishment. I'm trying to convince her it's not, or that you will punish her.
I think you
I'm punishing her?
misunderstand.
And in the mansion. Oh god, she got through the door.
She got through the door.
Gabriel!
There is no longer a handle or latch on the door.
I think you had better deal with her before any of the patrons here do. Please.
There's a fucking tiger!
Raiken chases after her.
The lower level is in a bit of an uproar as she is just sauntering through the place.
Don't worry, everyone. This is my tiger. She just needs to go to the bathroom outside.
Nobody looks any calmer after you tell them that. Everybody, backs up to the walls. There's just a clatter of plates and chairs as people stand up to keep their distance. As this tiger with a saddle and lance sticking off of it moseys through the room, just eyeballing them with her big yellow eyes.
Laramentis very quietly mutters something about familiars and control, and then walks into the mansion.
Alright, we're outside, Kubriel. Can you do your business and then get back in the ball for now?
Yes. And then she sits down and stares at you.
Raiken turns around, so he's not facing her.
Okay. You hear some movement behind you. Seems like something is happening. There is an odor that occurs, and then a strange warmth on your legs.
Oh no. Raiken's gonna look down.
Your silky pants are turning yellow.
No. God damn it, Kubriel.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did you not want me to do that? Should I have asked permission to do that?
I asked you to get in the ball. You said no.
When did I say no?
You were going to say no. That's why you got out in the first place.
I was going to say no. I didn't realize that you had become psychic in the time we've been apart. I was telling your friend because it was amusing to me that you couldn't take me in there in the ball because I currently hadn't given you consent. You never asked me. You immediately commanded me. Which, thankfully, the ball knows what consent is.
I'm sorry. I apologize already.
Are you going to do it again?
Well, obviously, it won't work anyways if I tried.
It does disturb me that that seems to be the only thing stopping you from trying it again.
Well, sometimes you're a bit unruly, and you don't want to listen to me.
I will
unless
follow
I do.
your orders in combat. When you use Celestial, I will follow your orders as always. But it is a compulsion.
About the only time that you do follow my orders when I don't speak in Celestial is when we're in combat. Otherwise, you could give fuck all what I ask you to do.
Ask me to do fun things.
Your idea of fun things terrorizes everybody else around you.
Whose fault is that?
Your fault.
She looks perplexed. She says, when I walked through the room just now, and everyone was scared.
Yes.
So I should not walk places.
You can't just walk around in general public. Tigers are not normal in
Whose
public.
fault is my form, Raiken?
It would be the same if you were a horse. Walking through a pub. Horses don't walk through pubs.
Prove that it would be the same. Get a
I
horse.
don't have a horse. To, to be fair, it won't be quite the same because a horse... People aren't going to be afraid that a horse is going to eat them.
I feel like that isn't my fault.
I made you a tiger so that you would be scary on the battlefield.
And I feel that is...
And strong.
Successful. We are successful in that.
I was not expecting you to be tromping around in an inn or a city.
But where do you go?
Unfortunately, inns and cities.
So where should I go?
In the ball, so that then I can bring you out when we're not there.
Am I only useful to you? Certain times?
No, it's just, unfortunately, we have pretty much been in cities and not out on the roads. The side effect of us gaining enough magic power to be able to teleport everywhere we want.
I suppose that is also my fault.
Why is that your fault?
Bring out the ball.
Why?
You told me you want me inside it.
Raiken will bring out the ball. Just for now.
She's going
When we
to
get
paw
into-
at it and say, clearly, in your mind, I give my consent. And She will be pulled into the ball, middle of your sentence. Brother, you smell terrible.
God damn it. Shut the hell up. I don't need input from the peanut gallery.
No, there are peanuts in here. This is amazing.
What do you mean there's peanuts in here?
In the bacon room.
Why are there peanuts in the bacon room?
Because it's also the peanuts room. Or as you so eloquently called it, the peanut gallery.
But what if somebody that loves bacon has a peanut allergy? That's just terrible planning.
I didn't invent the peanut gallery. Why is this my fault?
I'm gonna have to have a talk with Lara Mendes now.
Don't do it.
Don't do it.
I will share my peanuts with you.
No. I don't want peanuts.
I will share my bacon with you.
Yes, I do want the bacon.
Alright, we have a deal.
Raiken will head back up into the inn and up to the room again.
You head into the room, into the inn. Everybody here, you can see that they were like all crowded up against the windows, looking out, watching you talk to this tiger, and then it disappeared, and they all like see you come around to the door, and they all mill back to their tables.
As I walk by them, wafting.
Oh yeah,
piss.
you see faces scrunch.
Don't worry, I'll be gone soon. Enjoy your meal.
Ruby's going to, step over as you try to walk by the bar, and she says, "You're bringing wild animals into my inn now?"
She came out of her ball. It was a random occurrence.
A random occurrence?
She's okay though. She won't harm anyone.
Let's just say that there's a group of people here that aren't entirely convinced of that.
What? You don't trust your lieutenant?
Her face moves in several different ways. It looks like she's going to say something before she simply puts her hands together and nods at you and says, "That's your business. And this is mine. Keep the tiger under control."
She was under control. She just needed to go to the bathroom. That was all.
Somebody from the back of the room just goes, "Oh, is that all she did to you?"
Yes, now quiet down.
"Yes, Lieutenant. General Raiken of Arcosia."
Of House Lubas.
You just see a couple salutes get snapped off.
Raiken goes back to walking.
Comes back to the room. There is no tiger with him.
Can someone prestidigitate me?
I'd rather be on your bad side than the tigers.
I do not want to be walking around covered in piss.
Then maybe let her out, when we're outside a little bit more often.
Oh my god.
In places that are, safe.
I'm going to let her out in the mansion. Now prestidigitate me.
Yeah, I'm going to prestidigitate him because I can't stand the smell.
It smells bad. You get prestidigitated. Your lovely silk clothes become lovely again.
Thank you, Leah. Alright. I'm ready to do this now, so that Lara Mendes doesn't explode or whatever might happen to him.
Alright, so Lara Mendes went into the mansion, so now everybody will go into the mansion?
I believe so.
Alright, well, I like the music there. We're going. So you go into the mansion, you let the tiger out?
Yes.
Okay. She bolts through the house, just kind of sniffing at everything, finding her way around, pushing her way through doors, and eventually finds a way outside and begins sauntering around the gardens and going into the little stream there, just kind of owning the place. I did forget to mention that when you went out to let her freshen up, it was dark out. And the room was crowded because people were in for dinner.
That makes a lot of sense.
So I
was just gonna say I kind of figured it had to be either lunchtime or dinner time, but I know you had said like last session or whatever that we had spent a lot of time, so it was like late.
Yeah, and it's hard for you to tell because there's no windows there. I forgot to update the sunlight on the map there, but yes, it is late, and you're probably the first person in the party to see the sun, or lack thereof.
Mm-hmm.
was gonna say, Raiken, here's a thought. Kubriel has a level of intelligence. You could just, whenever we have to go into a city, can't we just ask someone to polymorph her or something, or make it so she looks like a person?
The balls for.
Well, I have a theory for that. Not exactly a long-term solution, but I might be able to summon her here for at least a short time as an actual celestial as opposed to just tiger form celestial. But all I can do is get her here. Anything that happens after that is up to you negotiating.
I could be a human.
I mean, it could be a celestial.
In human form?
I guess in your regular form.
Oh,
If you have a regular form.
Of course I have a regular form. It is extremely
You would rather be a
magnificent.
human than your regular form?
No. It's just if the tiger form upsets people, my normal form is really going to upset people.
I don't like the sound of that.
People
don't.
have to see you.
Oh wait, no, hold on.
Walking
Raiken
around.
doesn't say that. I wasn't thinking straight.
You don't like my normal form?
No, I said Raiken didn't say that. Retract that.
While I'm at it, I might be able to do the same for squeakers.
Wait. Kubriel, how badass is your regular form?
Well, do you like more wings or less wings on things?
Same as back.
I like all the wings.
Oh, well, I've got plenty of those.
Oh, fuck yeah.
The eyes.
I also have a really big sword.
Oh my god.
It's true. I mean, I don't want to brag, but it's as big as you are.
Raiken's going to turn to Simon and be like, we need to get her here in her regular form.
I'll get on it tomorrow. Can't do it tonight.
It might be as big as the other Dragonborn. He's a little bigger than you.
What? Barely. Plus, I make up for it with my awesomeness.
Oh. Yes, I did forget about that. I'm sorry.
It's okay. But now I just want to see how awesome your sword is. And your form. But kind of your sword.
Well, I'd be happy to show you. Get your friend to do that thing, or visit me here in the Celestial.
I don't know how to visit you in the Celestial. But he said we could do it tomorrow.
Sounds like a skill issue.
It kind of is. I don't have that skill.
So, Vendar, how do you feel about having squeakers turned into something else?
I feel like this is Squeaker's true form. I can believe that. He's my little buddy.
Yeah!
It is entirely up to you, but I can do it at the same time, so I thought I'd ask. Offer. Whatever.
I don't think it'll work on me. I'm special!
Yeah, Squeaker's is special.
Perhaps
Make
it
it
won't.
work
I
out.
have no idea.
Seal.
Matter of fact, it might not even work on her. That's kind of up to her and Cord.
She says I can see her if I go to the Celestial, but I don't know how to do that.
Well, it's
I
just
mean,
another plane.
I could
We
technically
had a-
do that too, but that I wouldn't have a way home, and I have to go with you, and it's just, I don't wanna.
I think Jacob was talking.
Oh, sorry.
I say it's plane, isn't it? If we had the right tuning fork, we could use the same spell we used to go other places, couldn't we?
Plane shift.
Yeah, plane shift.
We can go anywhere with magic.
I don't know where we'd get the right tuning fork, but
Oh, I know!
Where?
Oh my god, he can hear me!
Oh, oh crap! I didn't know. I didn't know.
oh, that was Squeaker.
The ferret's just like up at the edge of the hat pointing one little paw at you. This surprised, shocked groundhog expression at you, the gopher. Dramatic gopher.
You know where we could get a celestial tuning fork?
Yes,
Where?
in the Astral Sea.
Do you know where in the Astral Sea?
Yes. From an angel. Like Kubriel.
Well, Squeaker says we could get one in the Astral Sea from an angel.
Or,
Squeakers is brilliant.
probably the
and we would
Yarkin
get
University
there?
or whatever. But that's boring.
We could also probably get one from the college, but it'd be cooler to talk to an angel.
What? First we're gonna deal with hell, then we're gonna deal with celestials. We still
Yes.
got dragons. We still got dragons to defeat.
Well,
How many
yes,
realms are we
but-
going to go through first?
well,
The celestial thing. We
I
can
hope you
deal with
understand that this is getting help to deal with the dragons. That's-
So.
That's kind of the point.
Yeah, wait, how is this getting help? Ask him.
I think the summoning of her would get help. I think going there would actually get us help.
We can always go there later.
Yeah, I think that's a later thing.
You can meet Avandra.
Hey, why not summon all the gods while we're at it?
They won't help like that.
Yeah, they don't help
Oh my
that directly.
God.
They can't.
Leah just gives you a look.
Plus, the world could
Or the
not.
Squeakers, they can't even help that directly. That's why they work through messengers, I guess, and clerics and people.
Like you! He's just like running circles around the brim of your hat.
Yes.
I don't think the world could handle me and Cord working together on this plane.
They can barely handle him. Anyway, Laramendus.
Yes.
The party has regrouped within the mansion. The tiger is off lounging outside.
Okay. Laramenus had gone in and began casting the spell,
Alright.
so he was not waiting for people.
Everybody moseyed in.
Wait.
What?
Weren't you waiting for Raiken for his bonus?
Laramenus was not sure how long he would take, so he started to it takes 11 minutes, but he walked in and began casting.
He might
Alright.
have gotten back before you were finished.
I'm entirely prepared to roll.
Let me think about it.
So
I'd
it's
like to-
10 minutes and then a minute to ask the questions. So however that informs what happens.
I think the roll would come at the end of the 10 minutes.
Oh yeah, no, I mean, what happens for when, like, Raiken showing up? I mean, not.
I will let you know.
I'd like to imagine that, like, he wouldn't make it, and then there's just a feeling he knows he's not going to make it, and then Raiken appears, and it just goes, whoop, and it just pushes it over the edge. It's like, thank God.
Needed that +3. Alright. So, yes, you have been casting, performing this ritual for a while, and you can feel that mental fatigue as it's, wearing into you to be calling to these forces. And about 8 minutes into performing this ritual, suddenly a tiger roams through the room, kind of sniffing at everything. She comes over to you and sniffs at you and whatever you've laid out on the ground. She, you can see some of it get blown away as she's sniffing just by her breath. You're like, okay, I have to put that back. And then she goes outside, and then the rest of the party kind of moseys and begins arguing about stuff. But as soon as Raiken saunters into the room, you can immediately feel this weight lift off of your mind.
Excellent. I would like to not take 66 psychic damage and be insane until I finish a long rest.
You'll be fine. Your long rest is like 3 hours away.
That was one of the reasons why I was like, it would be kind of amusing for me to make this roll and fail. I'm gonna roll, because I want to know what would happen.
Okay.
That's a 13 on die, that's not fun. That would be a 24, I would have succeeded.
Would have succeeded without Raiken.
Nope, you can't take this from me.
Alright, so, as he completes this ritual while you're all, embodying that peanut gallery, arguing with each other about who should, go to the celestial plane and who should become an angel and all that jazz, all of the candles and even the fireplaces in here are going to, like, dim down. The flames are going to burn low on their wicks, and turn a cold blue, and you're going to hear, the whisper wind rush through the place, and the front doors slam shut. The whole place feels eerie and haunted all of a sudden. And from the walls of the room you're in, you're going to hear a hissing voice say, "You have called, and I answer. Ask, and I will share my knowledge, Sojourner of Fate."
I got Lerman as the shivers as he takes the spell.
And the shiver is timely, because as this voice seems to emanate from the walls themselves, and the lights have gone down to a cold blue and dim, you're going to begin to see the misty breaths of the people around you, and a chill is going to engulf the room.
Leah is going to sit very close to Raiken, or stand if you're standing.
You move over to him.
Lerman asks the first question. Does Rowan's contract have a physical form which denotes ownership of the contract via possession of it?
My sources in your realm say yes.
Is the entity who currently holds Rowan's contract an enemy of Leah's former patron?
All in the hells are enemies of one another at times.
I think that Larmendus is gonna read that one as a no, just for the sake of asking the ally question. So you'll say, is the entity who currently holds Rowan's contract an ally of Leah's former patron?
No. Competition distracts them.
And then, is what was the question? The insert full question about residuum gold greater than 55,000 GP? I can scroll back and find the whole phrasing of the question if you would like me to. But greater than 82,500 GP.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. And with that, you feel the rush of air travel through the building away from you, seeming to carry away the end of that word. And as the air that you almost feel you can see, though you cannot, seems to leave out the door toward the front of the building, the lights in the room are going to momentarily gutter before fully springing back to life, and the chill is going to melt off of you, replaced by the warmth of the hearth.
Herman leans over a bit more on the table that he was in front of.
Creep.
It's well,
I did not like that one bit.
It is not my favorite divination spell.
Let's
for
do it
many
again.
reasons. So, we now know that there is a physical form that the contract has, and if we possess that physical form, we control the contract. Which means extraction could be done differently if we wanted to make an enemy of this entity. But before we have any more discussions around that, I think we should proceed to the sanctum. And then Larman just looks over towards where he knows the storage room is. And then smirks. and then leaves.
Alright. You head back to the sanctum outside of this place.
The storage room was where... Or if that was Derek asking the question, the storage room is where Larmendus told the unseen servants to bring Tatsuya.
For expediency, I'm going to say that you move back to the room.
Yeah, that's perfectly fair.
Takes too long to get out all the tokens.
I just want to make it clear that we're having this conversation not where we think we will be able to be overheard by Tatsuya.
Got you. You are back in the world over in. You feel a little bit more aware of the bustle below you. You feel more voices are creeping through the floor, and you can hear the clatter of dishes going on, making you aware that there must be a meal, and the place is crowded.
Larmendus, why are you mixing peanuts with bacon?
Why am I mixing peanuts with bacon?
Yes, Tatsuya said that you have peanuts with the bacon in the storeroom.
Nothing truly exists there. It doesn't matter. What matters is that it takes up as little space as possible.
But people with peanut allergies that like bacon could die because of it.
Does anyone here have a peanut allergy?
No, but it's the principle.
I imagine that if that were the case, then the bacon provided would not have been stored with peanuts.
He's got multiple bacon rooms, brother. You have to find them all.
Shut up, Tatsuya.
Do you say that out loud while we're in the inn?
Yes.
That concerns me.
God damn it, brother. Bahamut, damn it, brother.
You going a little easy there?
I do not understand the magic that is linking the two of you, and it concerns me.
Whoa. There's a lot of alcohol in here.
Oh my
Why
God. Shut up,
isn't
brother.
any of it in bottles?
That doesn't make sense. Just shut up. Now you're just saying shit.
There's a sink.
There's barrels of alcohol. Fountain.
All I know is he keeps talking to me.
That is extremely concerning, and I look forward to casting Identify on the item in question. Although I suppose if anyone here has experience in dealing with devils, it would be your brother.
You did cast Identify on the item in question.
Did I?
Yes.
When?
When you received it.
I don't remember. I thought that I didn't.
I thought that you did.
Isn't there another one, like lore or something?
Legend
Oh,
lore.
legend lore.
Legend lore. You wanted to use that on it, didn't you?
Yeah.
I feel pretty confident that you did do Identify.
It's
He did
been
identify,
long
he
enough.
wanted to do legend lore because the identify just piqued his interest.
Identify can't tell you about curses.
Yeah. If I've already identified it, then I look forward to casting legend lore on it. It will be interesting. Finally get rid of some of my reagents for that spell that I've had since I could cast it.
It's
This
a great
fourth
spell
level
if someone
spell.
remembers to cast it.
Right, so we know that there is a physical item that we could acquire if we wanted to attempt an extraction that way, which is potentially worth discussing, but there's still the fact that it would anger this entity, and that's partly the reason why we were avoiding the extraction plan from before. But useful information.
Yeah, I guess
Are they an enemy? Oh, go ahead.
So could we hear the voice too?
I believe so.
Right.
For
I guess then.
yeah.
I guess then the question is the residual amount we'd have to pay, like, is it better to have another devil's an enemy or to lose that much residual? Plus, we don't know what he'd do with it.
We do not know what he would do with it. What they would do with it. And it does concern me to give a devil somewhere between 82,501 gold pieces worth of residuum and 110,000 gold pieces worth of residuum.
Yeah, it's like that's a lot of residual.
It is a not inconsiderable amount of our residuum, and it is... There is a lot that could be done with that much raw magical power. Although I suppose it could just make them a target for other devils, and there could just be some infighting there as everyone tries to pick over the others for the residuum that's there, and maybe by the time that fighting is all done, it will be distributed enough that it won't be enough to cause a problem. That would be nice. Or Asmodeus ends up with it and things get bad. But I don't think that we should outright refuse to negotiate with this entity, given what we've learned of them. If they're not an ally of Leah's former patron, and they're as much an enemy as any devil is an enemy of any other devil, then providing power to this one could help to hinder the former patron's schemes. Especially handing such a large amount of power to someone.
Lorelei is going to invisibly alight on your shoulder, Leah, and to whisper in your ear. She's going to say, fighting him indirectly isn't a half-bad idea.
What do you mean?
Well, taking on Zephyr directly is a scary thought, but if giving some small aid to one of his potential enemies can make him struggle in what he's trying to do, that is akin to us fighting him.
I suppose we were talking about giving a devil immense amount of residium.
If he wants it. I mean, what if he says no?
You could. But there's a lot of raw power to give to someone that is innate evil. You might just get a new problem.
Maybe. But I look at it this way. They've already got souls, right? And you're just giving them one soul's worth of residuum. So,
There's still a lot of residium.
for you, maybe it's one soul to him. It's not a big deal. Anyway, all I'm saying is that we shouldn't dismiss this idea, I think. Because we could defeat Zephyr, and this could be, I don't know, the thing that tips the scales, or whatever you mortals say.
It's just everything about him is scary. I just don't want to have anything to do with it right now.
You're going to, she's still invisible, but you're going to feel her little hand against your cheek in that way when she's trying to comfort you. She says, if we never fight him, then he'll be scary forever. And why should we give a bastard like him that much power?
Alright, but we'll see what happens.
Let's just call this a baby step. Step 1/2. We'll get a bigger plan, and then we'll fight him, kick his teeth in or something. Do you think he has teeth?
In the form he showed me, he did.
Let's kick him in. There's gonna be like a little silence, and then the rest of you are going to hear Lorelei speak up, even though she still knows. Says, "Sorry to interrupt."
It's quite alright. I imagine that conversation also happened relatively quick because of telepathy, but...
She
No,
whispered
it wasn't telepathy. We whispered it, so it took that.
Oh, it was whispered. Okay.
Yeah.
So Vendar heard everything.
So Vendar heard everything.
Yeah.
I heard everything.
Lair Mendes is just considering the ramifications of that much residuum. And basically being like, the guild can never find out.
Nalia will never tell them. Sorry, Jacob, what?
I imagine they'd be pretty pissed. But yeah, I think that's up to the casters if they want to part with the residuum. You know, I don't use it, but I do think that it certainly wouldn't hurt it wouldn't be bad to empower an enemy of Leah's former patron.
I am in possession of very little percentage of that that residuum requirement.
I assume I might have a large portion of it because I hardly ever used Residium. So I have still quite a lot.
I think Lairs used a lot of his residuum, but otherwise, so you haven't used much beyond what we used to make all of our magic shit.
Yeah. I think that's the only time. That's the only time I can remember that where Residium came from Leah's pocket. Let's put that
Leah
Mecca.
cast Imprisonment, which used Residuum.
Right. Yes, you're right.
Powerful and
Notice I
expensive
have never burning
spell.
torch listed on my possessions, which is just a stick.
Goodly in prison.
One of the not angels, when we were in the Astral Sea,
Yep.
in the dream of the Astral Sea.
In the dream of the Astral Sea.
That wasn't even very long ago.
No, it was just 2 days ago? 1 day ago? 2 days ago.
It was this morning, wasn't it?
God, I
Maybe
hope
the
that's
day
not
before.
true. No.
I think it was literally last sleep, wasn't it?
I think it was.
I think that there was one sleep between them.
I think there was one sleep between them. I won't know.
Because I don't think right after that,
Oh, you're right.
everyone went to go
after
deal with
that, we
Bruenor
went
stuff.
To the universe. We went to the university after that.
Right, yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's the next day.
I know that you did at least one full day of training the army, so then you had
Yeah.
to sleep again, and then I think that's what
Then
today
I read all the
is.
dynamite.
This is
Yeah. Then we went to save Bruenor, which was today.
this is the second or third day after you got there, which was all the army was really. That was when they were supposed to finish their training. Was either today or tomorrow, depending on which it is.
Yeah.
But you got coffers the money, so you can stay longer.
We got coffers and and we've explained our intentions with moving large groups of people extremely large distances in ways that the guild is going to be pissed have been shared with an army.
Yes, but coffers also worked with the carpenters to make collapsible wagons.
It's true. So, pros and cons to Laramendus' future.
Joins the guild. Okay, so now we have to write a whole bunch of rules to crack down on people doing all the things I did. Cool.
I know exactly how people are going to exploit high-level magic, because I did it. Rules are written in blood. Anywho.
Alright, so
But
you
yeah, so
casting?
I have 17,000 gold pieces worth of residuum.
Wow. Very small.
Yeah.
Everybody else has closer to 50, I believe.
I have 50,440.
I have just barely over 50,000.
So, what are you doing? What are you casting? Are you going to try and contact the devil with your inspiration?
I think that it is worth the negotiation. How do people... Let's assume that we need to spend the 110,000 that we know is the ceiling of what a soul is worth. How do people want that distributed amongst those of us with residuum? How many people have residuum?
Well,
What do you think? Half,
most
right?
of my residual is saved and used for if I need to bring someone back. So, I don't necessarily, of course I don't need all of it, but I definitely do need to probably hold on to some to make sure that I have that if necessary.
I agree that nobody should be completely depleted of residuum.
I'll donate
Which-
40.
Yeah, I got 48,000.
I might want to cast reincarnate 55 times.
Never know
55
when you might need
times.
to reincarnate. So
You will have a very long life to do so.
Just a couple thousand years.
I mean, granted, we survive.
Yeah, yes.
Druids, man.
I think that we should. It is nice to make plans on that assumption, although it's also probably reasonable to make plans otherwise as well. But
well, I mean,
Yeah.
otherwise the world is destroyed. So
Yeah, I mean, if
they're
I'm
not
killed, I'm
necessarily.
dead. I don't need plans for when I'm dead.
But none of that mattered to you because you're dead.
So every death in Geneforge ended. All these terrible things happened to the world because of the problems that you couldn't stop. But none of it mattered, because you're dead.
I could not remember the name of the game.
I'm sure it's happened in a bunch of different... But the one that jumps to my mind for that is Geneforge.
Sounds wonderful.
I enjoyed that game. Was it a good game? I don't think so. But I enjoyed it.
But it was a memorable game.
Yeah. I spent way too many hours playing it. So yeah, evenly split amongst the five of us with residuum. That would be looking at about 22,000 each, which is more than I have. So it will need to be a bit skewed.
I said I'm willing to give up 40. So that's 18 over my portion.
Yes, I mean, if I even keep just 15,000, I'll still be able to cast Revivify 50 times. So
how about the four of you each give 25,000 and Larry gives whatever is for me?
I mean, I'm fine with giving more.
We may even be able to do it with just 100,000. We don't know how much. We know it's between those, and I'm a pretty good talker. Maybe I can convince him to go for 100.
Lowball, Rowan's soul.
You don't know it's a low ball. For all we know, that's more expensive than his soul's worth.
It's true. We don't know what the exact number is.
You say a number, the devil standing in front of you just kind of grunts and jams his thumb into the air like, more.
You can do better.
No, it's one of those where we like write it on a piece of paper and then send it over to him across the table.
He looks at it. It catches fire.
What does that mean? Did he take the deal or
Is that
not?
good? I think that's good, right?
Devil's
Why
on
they
fire,
love
right?
fire here.
The nice devil.
Wait, we look at the smoke. Is it white smoke or?
Ah, new cleric's been elected.
Rowan's the Pope? I think so Lara Mendes would be comfortable doing 7,000 to bring him to 10,000.
What are we trying to get to?
So the ceiling of what a soul is worth, which is not necessarily the ceiling of what we would need to pay. It's basically what we would expect to pay at the most for a soul, and a straight trade like that. Is 110,000 as it currently stands. We could cast the spell more times to narrow it down a bit more from between, what is it, between 82,000...
Talk to more extraplanar entities. Talk to more extraplanar entities.
What do you think a soul is worth?
We've been here,
Scotch. What?
been in here talking about it all day. They got to be like near done training, right? Like we can use commune with your simulacrum soon, right?
Yeah, they're probably going. The simulacra are probably ready to be done with things.
Well, then we can try to use that to narrow down the cost a bit more. See if it's maybe you got it head on right first, and the soul's worth exactly 110,000.
That would be the funniest thing. The Contact on the Plane does give us 5 questions, which lets us narrow it even more. As opposed to just the 3.
We could, since you can't. It's not like you can go insane anymore. You also wouldn't need to go get the simulacrum, the lacra.
Do people want to narrow it down more, or do we want to plan for 110,000 and
Haggle?
move on from there?
Are we gonna haggle?
I think that we should absolutely negotiate.
We do have some other stuff too. I could throw in some 6 of dynamite, maybe. Maybe that'll like him. It did blow up a devil, which was fine.
Oh dear. I think Laraminus just gets like a staring into the middle distance, flashbacks to war, kind of.
I got
that
17.6
sounds
right
weird.
now, and I got the capacity to make more. I can't wait to put some stuff up.
Well, if we want to at least have the 110, just in case, I'm willing to put up 33, which would, with your 7,000, would put up 40. So the others would just need to come up with the other 70,000 then.
The other 30,000. Oh, because Cyrus said 40,000.
But well, I wasn't counting even Cyrus's total yet. I was doing my 33 plus your 7 for 40,000, just at that.
And my 40 gets us to 80.
So then we'd only need 30,000 more then.
We'd also do it more evenly. It's 28,500 from the 4 of you would be.
The fact that Lyman just doesn't have that much.
27,500.
But
There are
if
5
you
of
want,
you,
if I do
and
7,000,
yeah.
then we split the rest of it's 25,750 from each of you. If it's split evenly amongst the 4 of you, with Laraminus being the outlier at 7,000.
I mean, it does not matter to me. I just wanted to make sure I still had plenty in terms of being able to cast Revivify, because there might be quite a few Revivifies after all of this with the dragons.
I don't think he has a lot of material component spells.
Because you worked with Archmage Theranethian to figure out the exact weight to value ratio for Residuum, Laramendus, I think it is reasonable that you could ask one of your servants for a calibrated scale, and that would already be set to that you could use to measure out Residuum by value. Since this place represents your knowledge in a physical form.
Yeah, that seems reasonable. This is like no spells that require a spent material component. Arcane Lock. Continual Flame. Were people wanting to do 110 less Theramindas is 7,000 divided evenly amongst the four of you? Or are there other discussions for things that people would like to make cases for more or less from any individual?
That's fine with me.
I feel like you use your residuum the most.
Is that to Armendus?
Yeah.
So I've used mine in order to learn spells and acquire foci for spells, but there are a few spells that I need to cast that have material components associated with them to burn through. So
So you
I
don't
think
need
that
as much
10,000. Yeah, I think that 10,000 remaining to me is entirely reasonable for anything that I might need it for in this endeavor. I don't think there's much time for me to learn new spells.
Okay. Then let's get to it. That sounds good.
But this is like our maximum, right? We are gonna start offering lower.
Yes, so this is the maximum of what we believe a soul to be worth.
But how much do we think Rowan's soul is worth?
The exact same as any other soul.
Are you sure?
At least as far as these calculations are concerned, same as you can buy diamonds at a discount and they still work.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's the innate magical value.
Okay. Are there any other questions that people would like answers to before we send to this entity and see about these negotiations?
Nope.
I think we're ready.
Alrighty.
Okay. Let me scroll back up to find what I had proposed as ascending. Okay, so my proposal of ascending, I am going to just repost instead of like linking back to it. It had been greetings. You are currently in possession of a contract on a soul that my associates and I would like to make a deal for. We would like to coordinate negotiations. Is everyone still amenable to this sending?
Sounds good to me.
Yes.
Sure.
Sounds
Okay.
good.
Alright, so.
Oh, Jebel's lighting up.
Jebel's lighting up.
I didn't hear anything.
No, I think it just does that.
Okay.
Okay, cool. Just wanted to make sure you didn't have a
No, like it just seems to be doing that now.
Cool.
D100 here.
I would like to spend my inspiration on this,
Yep.
since I didn't spend it before.
Alright.
Even though
Mine
my
too.
dice hated me.
Alright. So each person who wants to spend an inspiration point, please tell me what physical action you take to enjoin your will to Laramendus.
What?
I become a taller version of myself and put a hand on his shoulder and try and push magical energy out.
Yeah. You do that. Vendor.
I chant with squeakers.
You chant with squeakers. Alright. Raiken.
Raiken will also put a hand on Laramendus on his shoulder, and he will give a giant battle cry.
Alright.
Rah! The day is mine!
Love it. Leah.
And no clue. I think I'm gonna close my eyes and like meditate and try to like spiritually help.
Okay. From a little ways away, I take it?
Yeah.
Okay. Yukikaze.
Do we have to physically touch to give it?
Not everyone is.
Yeah, not everybody is. I want you to know how your character feels they would contribute their willpower to make this spell work. What action you believe will have that effect. What you do to show solidarity with the party.
I will see. I don't know. I'll turn at the party and flex and give a big old grin.
Alright then. You are one with the party. Party, you feel the warmth of Yukikaze's smile in spite of his ice element. Giving you strength. Did you have more to add to that? I'm sorry.
No.
Okay.
No, Jebel is going to sit cross-legged, staff resting across his knees, and just meditate.
Okay. We've got some meditators, we've got some shoulder touchers, and we've got some thumbs-up shiny teethers. I like it. Squeakers also, puts out a paw toward Laramendus, but being up on the hat, he's a little too far away. You just see him, struggling, reaching, ew!
Yeah, but the beans are very visible.
The beans are extremely visible. They give you confidence. Confidence beans. Okay. So, normally... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6... That's everybody. Normally, you would have to roll a 99 on a D100 in order to succeed at this.
Oh boy.
But I have decided that each of you helping out with this by contributing inspiration is going to reduce that by 5%. And there are 7 of you, so it's 35 right there. Which means you now only have to roll a 65, which is honestly pretty impressively low, given what it is you're trying to do. So, you guys are contributing your will to empower Laramendus' magic in a way that is definitely not capable for people of lower level than you. Not possible. And you are bending the universe to your will. And that is a 71.
Oh,
Fucking succeeded?
You succeed.
Damn.
I think when Laramantis casts the spell, he actually says the sending out loud, as opposed to the normal, like, thinking it.
Just every little bit of willpower you can thrust into this.
He's the one with Rowan's soul. Honestly, he's better off there.
30 words. All of you is going to feel the response in your minds as this interplanar message wends its way back to you through the bending and folding of the magical forces that you all imposed to get it there. And so in your mind's ear, you hear a voice questioning. It says, "Mortal calls to me. Very well. Burn incense, poison oak leaves, and blood from at least 2 different mortals in a place I can enter. We will deal today."
Well, good news, I got incense.
And poison oak leaves.
Weirdly enough, that is the hardest thing we're gonna have to come up with.
I turn
Mr.
to
Druid?
Jebel.
What do you want?
Poison oak leaves. Ever see a poison oak tree somewhere?
Am I rolling nature for this?
I honestly think there's a pretty decent chance that you have it with you. So why don't you just give me a nature? I think a nature check is fine, but this is more like a nature check to see if it's in your pocket. And yeah,
Nature luck roll.
yeah, it's a nature luck roll. Just beat an 11.
My nature is plus 12.
You have it in your pocket. They are useful both as poisons and as ingredients in treating certain conditions, so you just happen to carry some dry leaves with you.
Laramantis points to Leah and says, "Incense," points to Jebel and says, "Poison oak leaves," and then, like, holds his hands out, sort of like gesturing at the party, and says, "At least 2 different mortals."
Book. Bell. Practically candle.
I will if I have to. However, I'm partially hesitant because my power is in my blood. I'm not sure if that might have additional
I
effects.
think you are reasonably excused from this. I think the next question is a place that they can enter, which
Fine.
Can they enter
with my 17, because that's what we're doing for the how we're doing the religion rolls. Fucking 3. Do I think that needs to be somewhere on the material plane for a devil of this power? Or do I think that a demiplane is reasonable? And also associated with that, do I think a demiplane would piss them off?
With a 17, you are reasonably confident that it is anywhere where interplanar travel is not restricted. And to your piss them off question, as long as you haven't, like, summoned them into an otherwise inescapable box, they probably aren't going to get pissed off wherever you summon them.
Okay. Cool.
I can cast the plane.
You cast what?
I said I can make the demi-plane. I can cast it.
I mean, you've got the mansion.
Yeah, we can also just
Doing
do
it.
it in the mansion.
Just
I
to
just wasn't sure if you
spare
wanted
you
to like
the resources.
invite him into where we're going to like sleep tonight.
We don't need to sleep here, and I can dispel the mansion.
Make a
Fair
new
enough.
one. Get a better one.
I couldn't cast it again. Well, I couldn't cast it again. Could I cast it again? I could not cast
I
it
would
again.
ask that you don't dispel the mansion until I'm done making my poisons.
That would make a very dangerous mess.
I meant that once the entity has left us, I think that summoning a devil like that would probably count as like me granting them permission to enter.
So remember
So,
that
so like they would be able to like theoretically come back. So like if our concern is them coming back, we can like take what we need to take out of it and then dispel it, and then it wouldn't like if that's the concern about that. I think that we're probably fine to do that if we need to.
I mean,
but-
as you know, you can't grant new creatures the ability to use the door after the spell is cast. So this is no different than
Just, like,
Then
summoning
Kubriel
from
coming in
nowhere or
using
something.
Pokeball.
Yeah.
like new creatures can come in. They just can't use the door to get in. But there are other... I don't mean to say that they can do it willy-nilly. I just mean that there are other means.
Yeah. Okay. Study, garden, dining
Garden.
hall.
I say garden.
Okay.
With the candlestick.
Alright, out to the garden you go.
Did we ever pick our mortals?
I am fully content to be one of them.
And I offer to be the second.
It's... What is the danger? Like, of being one of the mortals?
I think that we already have two, and so you don't need to contribute in that way, Liam.
No, I was
Said at
more worried
least
about,
two.
I was more worried about Yukikaze. Like, we need him for the dragons.
It's Vendar and myself.
Oh, okay, then it's fine.
We don't need you.
We don't need Larametis or Vendar.
They're expendable, but you're not.
No, but like seriously, when the champion of Bahamut is like essential for the fight.
Oh, you hear that, Yuki? You're essential.
Oh, good. If he goes down, he just go on one knee and get back up a few seconds later.
Yeah, you're an essential worker.
Yeah, you saw the work during the pandemic.
Actually, I am actually literally an essential worker in real life.
Alright.
Oh, Kubriel's swimming.
So you, gather around.
And I think the residuum has been measured out at this point as that 100. Like, there's a separate set that's the like 110,000, probably not immediately visible, but that way we're not going to need to like pour from everyone's and like all that kind of stuff. Raiken.
Being fireproof might be helpful in case things go poorly.
You are given
The ice
the...
melt, maybe it's nice.
You are given the knowledge through the warping of the magic, your communication, words that were unspoken, but that are nonetheless necessary, that tell you the exact pattern to draw for your summoning, as that is what you are doing. You burn these things in a double engraved pentagram, placing the unburnt versions of the objects at the points. As the smoke rises from the bowl in which these objects burn, the incense contributed by Leah, the poison oak leaves, which give off a sharp and gingery smell that kind of stings your noses and eyes a little bit. The blood dripped on by slit fingers of Laramendas and Vendar. It seems to billow out and gust in small wisps in ways that are unexpected and unnatural, and it seems to hang in the air thickly. More so than you would expect, again, given how much you were burning. Until there is an impenetrable haze rising over this pentagram in your midst, and that gingery, nose-stinging, sharp smell is supplanted by the rotten egg smell of the hells. And the smoke is going to begin to thicken and swell, and then seem to sway unnaturally, and then seem to solidify, the smoke itself becoming a physical body. And you see, I didn't even check to see if I had a good token for it, because I was just going to describe them, so give me a second.
There's some decent devil ones.
Probably.
But not many that are good for good. Well, I actually don't know what it is. If it's one of the more humanoid ones, not as good.
Raiken.
I realized it was good that I didn't cast Mage Armor before today. I cast Mage Armor after stabbing myself, but my ward would have been up, and I don't know that I can, like, prick a finger when the ward is up.
This is good enough.
Would be very funny if Laramendas went to get a blood sample and forgot his mage armor.
These wings seem to grow out of the smoke cloud and flap, fully dispelling it, giving you a clear look at this creature, who seems to look around at all of you and look around at the surroundings, and then look up at the dragon and smiles and says, "I've never been offered a dragon soul before. This will be an interesting bargain indeed."
Uh-oh.
My soul isn't the one in question.
Raiken, I need you to make a dexterity saving throw.
Uh-oh.
I just find it funny, the idea of Derek trading one of his characters for the other.
Trade is
One of
level
my
20
shitty-
character for a level like 12 one.
I got a 13.
A 13.
Yeah, you had to use one of my shitty saves.
I did. Because Kubriel leaps from the water and, landing next to you, quickly juts forward and bites the devil on the ass.
Oh, God damn it.
I think Laramendas blanches.
Oh,
Does she even hit him?
She does. She gets a big chunk of meat. She's like, "Rump!"
God damn it, Kubriel.
And she, like, comes away with some of, like, the ragged cloth that he has tied around his waist, bloodied with a small chunk of flesh. And in your mind, you hear her say, I told you I was going to bite the devil when we got hold of him.
What? I don't remember this.
You did last
She
session.
said it last session
Yeah,
when she was
I-
confronting
I-
Leah.
Yeah,
Oh.
she did say that.
Oh.
And she
I,
slings.
I even posted a picture of the common chicken devil because of that conversation.
I make a promise, Raiken, I keep it.
Damn it.
Maybe we shouldn't have done it in the garden.
Raiken's going to freaking tell that back to her, like, I swear to God, if you mess this up for us, swear to Cord.
So how does the devil react to having a chunk of his ass bit?
Does he notice?
He does not really appear to notice immediately, like as she tears a small chunk away and quickly slinks back into the water. There's like a delayed response, and he kind of like scratches at his ass, like, what happened? Before turning to look for the source of the discomfort. And you see he stares for a protracted moment at the tiger, just like, crocodiling in the water at him. And
Like blood going, or like
just
emanating
leaking
from
around
the
her,
mouth.
Yeah. And he's just staring. You see this epic staring contest going on between the two before he literally grabs his chest and lets out a deep belly laugh and goes, an angel! This will be an interesting deal indeed. And I think I'm gonna call it there.
I think that's fair. Laramindas can't get any paler. All the blood has left his face.
I can say the same for Leah.
Along with all the blood that he used for the sacrifice.
The couple drops were apparently representative of significant portion.
Yeah, all those drops had been all that was in his face.
That's it.
Yeah.
Oh. Alright. That's lovely, and I think a perfect note to end on. So, we'll see you next time on Everybody Loves Raiken! Bye, stream.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.